Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
Yeah, let's get a check of that weather a little closer to home.
Hey, Cedric.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, things are a little calmer here in the Beehive State, and I want to show you here a nice little shot here. This is sent in from Chris Williams this afternoon, showing you here over Provo Canyon as you get towards the Bridalveil Falls there. You can see some of that fall foliage there. Nice drone shots. We've got our mountains in the background. But yeah, even though it looks like fall, it's feeling much more like summertime. Now, here's another great shot here looking back from Provo Canyon. There you see the Salt Lake Valley. Also notice that thin veil of smoke and haze that we had out there earlier today from some of those wildfires. That was coming in from those wildfires in Idaho, and we had that northwesterly wind. That also brought us in some slightly cooler temperatures, but are only talking 1 to 5 degrees cooler than yesterday. But still, it took the edge off of the heat, especially across the north, down to 49 degrees right now in Logan. It's 65 degrees in Ogden and Salt Lake City, 56 in Heber, 64 in Delta. We've got 64 in Emory, 69 degrees in Cedar City, and 82 degrees currently in St. George. So we've got this light breeze with that northerly flow coming in across the area. It was enough to kind of push this high pressure or heat dome just off to our south and west. But hey, that means it's still hanging out in the neighborhood. And as this cold front begins to approach from the west, you can see we've got clouds and even some rain showers approaching the northwest. But I put these green arrows here to show you that most of the energy is going to go up into Canada with this system because this high pressure ridge is blocking this system from moving in. So for us, it's not going to bring us a lot of rainfall chances, but it will bring us some impacts starting for your Friday afternoon. So let's take a look at that. These areas shaded in this magenta color, that is a red flag warning. That includes portions of the Wasatch Mountains, the Uinta Mountains, and then down across the Central West Desert and the Color Desert area. That's where we're going to be looking at those winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour combined with those very low humidity values, and that's going to lead to a critical fire danger threat. That means any sparks that get going could spread quickly. Now, as we go into your Friday morning, we start off very quiet with breezy conditions ahead of this cold front moving in. The breezy conditions will lead to some record heat in the afternoon hours tomorrow, both across southwest Utah and across the northern half of the state, including the Wasatch Front. And along with this system, there's just not going to be a ton of moisture. There's a lot of dry air in place, but I cannot rule out an isolated sprinkle or a shower areas along and north of I-80 tomorrow night. Now, I don't think it's going to amount to much. You're not going to see a ton of rainfall, but there is a very slight chance of that, so just keep that in mind. Otherwise, we're clearing out and slightly cooler weather returns for our Saturday. So in the upper levels, as we track things, this heat dome shifts back to the east, allowing for that southwesterly flow and these record heat temperatures to make their way across the Beehive State for your Friday. Then the winds shift out of the north and west. That brings in the cooler air for your Saturday. But then we go back to west and eventually southwesterly winds for next week with that heat dome hanging out just to our south. So that means we'll stay on the warm side. But hold on now. We're starting to see some changes, maybe signs of a storm system trying to move into the southwestern half of the country by the middle of next week. If this occurs, we could start to see maybe increasing winds and maybe some moisture trying to sneak into the area. Now, the bad news with that is, of course, we know we've got the big PGA championship event taking place down there in Ivins, Utah coming up for us starting around this time frame, but it may be a sign that we could start to see a pattern change showing up. In fact, the latest outlook from the Climate Prediction Center indicating maybe the potential of some wetter than normal conditions, especially across central and southern Utah. Right now, I'm keeping the forecast dry, adding in some clouds, but stay tuned. We may finally be seeing something happening that may be changing in our forecast. So St. George, how about upper 90s the next few days? Record highs likely. Yeah, get ready for that. And then along the Wasatch Front, again, a few clouds, breezy conditions, that fire danger. And yes, if we hit 90, that'll be the first time in October, first time this late in the year, and smashing the record high for the day.
Smashing record highs. I'm sick of talking about.
I know.
Yes.
We'll pretend that that's great.
Yes, hey, let's get our awards, our trophies. Let's go.
We get a trophy for that?
Yeah, we get a trophy.
Okay, Wes. you hear
Yes,
that?
Wes is excited.
Real Salt Lake would like to win a trophy.
Okay.
They've got some work to do.
Yeah.
They're tired of all the ties they've had of late.